Let's talk about the VATN. Yes, the new powersports water-resistant amps from B2 Audio, and this one is the Aquadust 800.4. Check out this video. They're on the way.
This way you can see it before you buy it.
Hey, Big Jeff coming to you from BigJeffAudio.com, also representing B2 Audio, B2 Audio USA. I got something special here. So there's going to be a bunch of videos coming up. These are actually done, manufactured, and on the way over. The new VATN line.
Really cool.
Now, if you notice, all B2 Audio because they're from Denmark and Swedish and over there.
Viking Cup!
And all that, there's names like that. So the VATN line is going to be marine power sports stuff. This one's actually the Aquadust 800.4 2 ohm full range, okay, that is water resistant. And it's actually a rating of IPX5.
Interesting.
Which, and I said in some live videos when we first were talking about submersible, but no, not 100% submersible, looking into it. Yes, I said that because the wires are actually in here and sealed up, and there's a seal here, but because this is a seal, it could get water in here. So it is IPX5, which means it can get wet, almost even a rating on how much pressure of water. So yes, if you washed it or stuff like that, no problem, but not submersible. So we're going to call it water resistant. Now, some marine product isn't even water resistant. It just means that it can handle moisture. This is actually water resistant. All right, before I even start, hit that like button, leave a comment. You can always leave one at the end of the video, and share this out. And depending on what social media you're watching on or what platform, you're either going to subscribe to us, a like and follow. We really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into this amp here. These are actually already, production run is done. It is one SKU right now, but we'll be coming out with like a mono block and bigger 4 channels, maybe even a 6 channel. This one's called the Aquadust 800.4. I'm gonna get a little bit of speculations. All right, so at 4 ohms, this is 120 watt times 4. At 2 ohms, it's 160 watts times 4, or 340 watts times 2. So you can bridge it, 4 ohms RMS power. This is a 2 ohm amp, stereo, 4 ohm bridged. Okay, frequency response 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Signal noise ratio 82 dB, 1% THD. Okay, you do have a low pass frequency, 50 hertz to 250. High pass, 120 to 3 kilohertz. It does come with an AGU fuse, which is cool, you'll see. It does have bass boost. And this will, which I don't recommend, play down to 9 volts all the way up to 16. And this thing is super small. It's basically 10 inches by 4.5, and it's only 2 inches tall.
Sounds good to me.
Really cool. So let's look at this. And a couple things I want you to notice. It does have 8 gauge power and ground. We do have a remote turn on. Okay. Then looks like we have RCA inputs, and that's 4 channels. Now, speaker outputs, your standard grays, purples, and whites. And then there is a red power wire, which maybe that's your turn on out, but I see a blue one too. So let's see in the manual. I'm learning this along with you all, so this wasn't pre-planned or figured out, okay? High level input wiring. Oh, okay, so you either use the RCAs or they tell you to cut the RCAs off. I wouldn't do that. I would leave the RCAs on. If you had to do a high level input, just get some cheap RCAs and cut those. That's just my opinion. I definitely wouldn't cut them off the amp unless you plan to stay that way. Okay. You have chassis ground, remote turn on terminal, the head unit, remote in. Okay. Oh, that's why. I get it now. You have remote in from the radio, and this gives you a remote out, which is kind of cool. That means it has a built-in relay. So you can go in this amp and out this amp, and you have enough. So that's what the red wire is. You have blue wire for blue, your turn on from your source, and then you have an output to turn on other sources. Okay, Now, I did tell you there was other stuff that came with this. You got 4 screws. Most people never use the screws, but you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to waste my time bringing that out. This will be easy to ship. Does come padded. All right, and then it does come with an AGU fuse holder. So you do 4 gauge or 8 gauge, but the cool thing about this one, it does have rubber seals. So again, I wouldn't say waterproof, but it's definitely water resistant. But most of the B2 audio amps don't come with fuses internally. They don't come with external. You gotta do it yourself. This actually comes with one. That's a nice little feature. That's all you need right there. Okay, what I'm gonna do is turn on the Big Jeff cam.
Big Jeff cam activated.
And then you have this thing right here. It's really a good rubber piece. This gets you in there. So let's look here. You have a protect light, power light. You have auto on, so it'll sense to turn itself on. So even, let's talk about that. Come back to the regular camera. So let's just say you're putting this in like an ATV, a powersports, whatever. And maybe you're doing a little Bluetooth controller to play music from, or you have a radio. But you can set this to automatically turn itself on as soon as it's seen signal. And it does have an output to turn other devices on. Okay, back to this. You could either do input level, high or low. So it does matter. It is set that it'll accept high or low. You have to flip that switch. You have 2-channel mode, 4-channel mode, gain. And then you have high pass, low pass, low pass. And then you have, because it's a full range, you have high pass, full, and low pass. So it's a nice little amp, and this pops right back on. It's rubber seal. That makes it so it's not submersible. Sorry, but you could probably get it pretty wet and not worry about it. All right, let's look at the other side here. You can see this part right here is totally sealed up. All right, so it's a small amp, and obviously in future videos we're gonna do some testing. I'm gonna see how hard it is to take this thing apart. Normally, especially on either waterproof or water resistant amps, you really don't want to break the seal, and if you do, you want to make sure you put it back together properly. But we're gonna take a look at this. And excuse my mojo today. Just tired, everyone. I got a lot going on. I got problems like everybody. Running a business, economy, everything is get to you. I'm just tired today. Gloomy day out. So if I'm not as Big Jeff excited, that's what it is. But we're getting this stuff done for sure. And this is simple unboxing. These are on the way. It'll probably be here in about 40 days or so. So we have time. We're going to do full testing on it. Okay, so that plate came off. Oh, okay. And there is rubber gasket type around the edge. You can do the overhead cam there. Yeah, so if you were to take this apart, I would probably do a little goop or something back on it, and then overhead gasket. This actually gets you to that side of the board. Now, what I did notice, and I should have done this first, is the bottom plate comes off. Let me see if this will come off without pulling the other side off, because those cables being in that way will be a pain in the butt. And if you notice, there's way more screws than normal because this has to put pressure all the way around on the bottom plate to make a good seal. Now, this particular amp we're going to test, and I normally do giveaways, so we'll probably do one. The way I gauge giveaways, we usually do multiple videos of the product all the way up to the end, and if we see a lot of people commenting and sharing, because if you're watching this right now, what's the big deal leaving a comment, hitting the like button? It doesn't really take any time or cost you anything. Alright, let's see if this will come off or not. This might slide out. Nope, perfect. I'll take that side off. Okay. So look overhead too. You see this got a gasket too. So again, you want to make sure this gets pressure fitted properly so it makes a good seal. Ooh, looky here. Let's do the Big Jeff cam first. We'll get that close and personal. Let's take a quick photo. So we have MOSFETs. Green caps. I can't read what they are, but that's the first time seeing that. Oh, you got... Well, that's good that if you got to change out some cables, you can. But you can see right there, you see all the goop around there? That seals up the wires coming in. So I definitely want to pull that side off for sure. It's pretty compact in here. That's why it's so small. But it looks pretty solid. All right, let me put this back. Let me grab the up close and personal.
up close and
You guys,
personal.
you real
engaged.
techie guys can really get a look at it. You can see the board is glossy. I don't know if you can see it from this camera view. So that's coated. So even if moisture got in here, all this is coated, everything. So this is made to kind of be sealed up. I almost want to say submersible. And what I mean by is, no, I'm not going to mount it in a damn fish tank. But if it really got wet, you'd be okay. Because all of this is coated. Plus, if it's put together back right, it has great seal all the way around the whole thing. But to keep this compact, keep this water resistance, or in this case, it's IPX5 rating, you have to do it that way. This could definitely get totally wet. You could probably even spray out your ATV or whatever.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
I just wouldn't take this stuff apart. You shouldn't do that anyway. But when I put this back together, I'm gonna take extra time to really put it back together. Because once you take it apart, the original factory seals kind of get messed up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some goop, put this back. I always sign the stuff. Let me grab that so I don't forget. Which, why I sign this type stuff is so if I did do a giveaway and it came in a warranty or something, we would see that it was taken apart because of that reason. So let me take this plate on the both sides, the end and the bottom. I'm just gonna do a little my little snazzy. Okay. Because we might do a giveaway with this. So we're planning, B2 Audio is planning to have a whole VATN line in different amps and getting the speakers and that, branching out to powersports because it's getting more and more popular. Other people use this, especially for Jeeps and other vehicles that get wet inside. So it's not just like a boat or an ATV. There's other applications for this, for sure. So I like the design. I don't know what you think about the board, but the next thing obviously would be testing this thing. Okay, here we are, Big Jeff, representing BigJeffAudio.com and B2 Audio USA. And we're talking about the VATN, the Aqua 800.4, it's Aquadust. So I have it hooked up mono first, and then we'll do left and right. But we're gonna do mono, which says it'll do 4 ohms. And I'm gonna start off smooth dynamic run, mono. And we're gonna go to 4 ohms. We'll go to track 1. And we're gonna start dyno. We're at 13.76. Okay, so we jumped right to 463. Let me pause that. 463 mono. Okay, so it was saying 360 watts times 2. All right, so we're gonna go back, exit, and then we're gonna go to certified, mono, and we're gonna go, 4 ohms. We're gonna track 4. All right, start dyno. Okay, so we even did better. Let me pause this. We got 400 watts certified at 4 ohms at 13.74 and rated here. Actually did write exactly what it says it was going to do because it said there's a star. It showed 340 watts times 2 and there was a / 400 times 2. So that was the most they got. So we got 400 watts certified out of that. I'm just going to do anyway an uncertified run so we have them all. Uncertified mono, track 3, start dyno. Okay, so we went over the 4. So we got 449, 450. It's still going up. 456. So 456. So we got exactly rating above on the mono 4 ohm. I'm not going to go mono 2 ohm because it's not rated for that. It's rated 2 ohm stereo. So I'll need to rewire it up, retune it, and go stereo. But the VATN does what it says. So technically this could run a small subwoofer, or that's a 40 hertz tone, and it did it. So definitely a set of towers. I mean, a bunch of stuff. Okay. Tiny little amp. It does the 400 mono at 4 ohms. This thing is rated at 2 ohms, 165 watts times 4. So that's what we're going to check next. I'll see you on the next one when we put all this together. Let me know what you think. What do you think about B2 Audio going into this power sports marine field? And what do you think about the first product? This is not a prototype. This is actually it. We had one air shipped in. There aren't a boat coming this way with a bunch of new products. And hopefully it takes off and we really branch off in that world. But I think there's a big business. Jeeps, trucks. I don't know. Leave in the comments. What do you think? Car audio and having the marine type or power sports product. I like the word power sports better because that's what it is. But, you know, this would be cool. Like say, well, obviously Jeeps and trucks and stuff. But if you had to mount something where it's going to get wet or a lot of moisture, this is the way to go. Now, pricing, I don't know yet. It's going to be around that $300 mark. It's obviously an IP rated amplifier. We're going to see how much power it does. So you're going to pay a little bit, but good quality. And it is a little bit different. Jay really designed some cool stuff. Now, if we can get this thing to do the 150, 160 watts times 4, that'll run pretty much anything for power sport type speakers. And 340 watts. So let's say we can get 350 watts out of this bridged. Might even run a small subwoofer or something. Definitely towers, no problem at all. But we are planning to come out with bigger ones. But I mean, look how small that is. That's great, ain't it? Okay, so this is just a quick unboxing because we got to do testing. And I mean, how much more is there to unbox? You got to see inside, outside, what the product comes like. Now what you care about is how much power it does, and then obviously price. These should be available mid-August. We'll probably do pre-orders, and anytime we do a pre-order, we offer a discount. So if you're in the market for something like this, remember, before this product gets here, it gets tested, so we know it works. The final testing here is because the way they do stuff, either in China or Korea or the places this comes from, they use not usually batteries, they use big power supplies, they use different tones. It's a different situation, so we get a real life. Now, you hear me all the time, and I don't care what you say on this one. I don't think a certified test means crap. In real life world, you're not going to have that static 1 ohm or 2 ohm or just that 40 hertz tone. I really like at least the uncertified, and I do like the dynamics. It's more like a bass drum. It's like boom, 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 and that's what you're going to get. But some people are so just focused on the certified numbers. But we'll run it. My big thing is when I put this in a vehicle or a side-by-side or ATV, am I going to be able to push, and is it going to sound good? The other thing about B2 Audio is the components. We probably could have made this amp half the price it is with cheaper caps, transformers, resistors, not coating the board, not sealing it up, and just made a crap amp that probably even did more power, but it's crappy power. For some of y'all don't realize there's a difference in quality. This is definitely B2 quality, but we're going to test out and see the numbers. Hey, hit that like button, leave a damn comment. Doesn't cost you $1. Share this out. I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com, representing B2 Audio and B2 Audio USA with the brand new VATN line. So I got new hashtags. It's always, it can never be too loud, it can never be too small, or it can never be too wet. B2 Audio in the house. I'll see you on the next one.